Hey, everybody, welcome to Tea Time with Amy and Bev.
We're back.
We're back. So I'm a little excited. Um, I haven't dove into it much, just hearing the surfacey pieces. But we are coming to the end of 2025, and that is the end of a cycle. So 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 5 is 9. 9 is the end of a numerological cycle. Numerology goes 1 to 9. And so that means 2026, we are stepping into a new cycle. And so as we wrap up this end of the year, um, things, there's only like a couple weeks left right now. And so, well, by the time the audience hears this, it will be actually January 1st. But the, it's like, I got 2 weeks. This is kind of the pressure I'm putting on myself. I got 2 weeks, clear some clutter, get some shit out, like move and shake and get things done. Um, any unfinished projects, if I'm not gonna finish them, you know what, they gotta go. Like I have I have jewelry sitting in baggies because they broke or whatever. They've been sitting in these baggies for years. Like it needs gotta go. It's gotta be moved. It's gotta like cleaning and all the things. So anyway, so we have that. So we're going into a one numerological 1 year. So starting fresh, starting new, a new chapter, new beginnings, all the new things are going to start um, forming. So now we're in a starting to lay a foundation for new for the next cycle, for the next 9 years. But not only that, in Chinese astrology, which is the first new moon after the last wait, it's the first new moon after the first full moon of the year. So that date always changes for the Chinese New Year. And so we're going into what they're calling the fire horse, which is movement. And they say we're going to be in the first Chinese astrology, we're going to be in the fire signs for the next 20 years. 20.
Oh,
And the thing about the fire horse, I just saw it, and it was something that so needed to slap me in the face. It said the fire horse does not put up with excuses. I was like, okay, 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 I'm ready. Okay. And this is exactly actually the way I've been feeling for the past, I don't know, week or so is all right, you're either gonna do it or you're not. You get moving or you do something different. So these are the conversations I've been having with myself. And it's when I saw it, like the fire horse does not accept excuses, it was like, okay, then we're doing this. We're gonna do this. We're doing it now.
this
So
girl is on fire. That's the song I'm
exactly. Yeah,
hearing in my head right now.
yeah. So just know that the energy is going to be coming. It's going to be coming. Um, it I don't what comes to me right now is it's going to feel almost demanding. The energy is going to be feeling demanding, like there's a demand for the urgency to get something done. Is that's what's sitting within me. I could be wrong and I could be off, but that's what's sitting with me is like there's because excuses keep us stuck. Excuses gives us a reason not to do it. Also comfort. I saw that too. Comfort creates stagnancy. If you're comfortable with where you're at with your life, you're not growing. And I had a conversation with a lady about this too. She goes, she's been in a job for several years. She's really good at what she does, and she totally switched careers this year. And I was like, okay, well, why did you do that? What made you change your job that you're good at? And she's like, I wasn't growing. I didn't feel like I was growing, and I it was just time to do something different.
That makes
She's
sense.
she's 50.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
So um we might feel, you most likely are gonna feel energy like that. Like it's just time to do something different, but it's gonna, if you do something different, it's gonna be a no holds bar, no excuses, do it.
Now, right? I
Yep.
mean, to me, if you're getting the the kind of gentle nudge that this is what to do next, then it's just do it.
It's like
Otherwise, you'll
the
get a
it's
bigger.
like the it's like the you know how we've talked, like there's gentle nudges from the universe, our guides, the angels, like
Yeah.
they're nudging us, right?
Yeah.
Bitch, you're gonna get pushed. Like, let's go.
That's right. I told you. Yes.
Like, go.
Nice. Well, some of us might actually really respond to that quite well.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, we're doing it because it's a
Yeah.
fire. And I had read the same, I had seen the same thing about it being a fire horse, and I thought that's fast movement because no
Yep.
matter what, it's fast. I mean, this is like you've talked about get into the ride, put your seatbelt on basically, and keep your hands and legs in at all times, and you'll stay safe
Yeah. Yep.
because you're being taken on a journey right now.
And there's some of us, so when I think about astrology, like um for Cancerians, we need the whole story, we need the details, we need the, I gotta sit with this, I gotta take my time with this. It's like, you gotta make a decision now. It's kind of the way I feel. And for the fire signs, cool, you definitely want to maybe buckle in your seat with two seat belts or three. I
Yeah,
feel like the fire signs for 20 years, who, it's going to be interesting to see what happens for sure.
yeah. I never even thought about that for them.
And I would
And
think for fire signs that it would actually, because they're doers anyway, that they would learn a lot through this process of taking care of themselves, because they can overextend themselves by doing so much and too much over commitment, that um, you're going to have a huge lesson in learning to nurture yourself more.
wow.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what are the trends that kind of show up from all this stuff actually.
Yep.
So now we're going to see all kinds of different ways that you can nurture yourself, even more so.
Yeah.
It's probably going to take on a whole new level.
Yes, I believe so. And this is all, I'm not an astrologist or numerologist. I know like basic stuff. That's just what's coming to me as we're sitting here, what I already said. So
Nice.
I haven't done any research. I've seen this, like I said, the surfacey headlines about it, and so that is my observation, not observation, my synopsis, I guess, if you will. Opinion. That's my opinion. What's
Nice.
my intuitive opinion? So fire
Nice.
signs are going to be interesting to watch for sure. Yeah.
And I like how you said your intuitive opinion because it's so important, especially in these times, to really listen to our intuition because we can get caught up in the fire of others. We can get caught up in what's going on the TV, the news, all that stuff, how people are responding to things. And it's like, it's just remembering that we're all connected. Every one of us is connected. We may be in these vessels that make us give the appearance or receive the appearance of separation, but we're really not separate. There
Yeah.
isn't one thing or one person better than another. It's we're all having an experience and we're helping each other along this way to nurture each other, which is interesting because that's one of the things I've been talking to about my grandkids. A lot of times the family was like keeping them separate from me, the two, my grandson and my granddaughter, because they would like be fight like cats and dogs. And it's like, no, they've got to learn how to communicate with each other. We can't keep them separate and then keep trying to go in and fix the problems and stuff. We have to let them try to figure out things themselves because they got their own intuition. They've got their own internal guidance just as well as we do. And they're probably more connected to it than most because they're not that far away from their beginnings with it coming into this life, this world. So it's just being in that space of recognizing that. And then so I constantly am reminding the kids if they start to say something to each other, like I took them bowling together. I think it was last Friday or the Friday before. I took him bowling. And so we went bowling and stuff. And the whole time they were doing stuff, he started to get hard on himself because he wasn't doing as good as he thinks he should do. I'm like, because you've been a professional your whole life, like you're like 8 years old going on 9, and you bowled how many times now? Twice, and you think you should do it. I understand this conversation because that's how I always felt about myself. I always felt like I should have done better. But then and then he was kind of nitpicking with my granddaughter. It's like he's kind of picking on her, but he's trying to get attention, which I understand that conversation too, trying to get that attention. He's lashing out or reacting to get attention. Well, it's a good show for myself to let me know that I do the same thing. I have even recently. So it's even noticing all that kind of stuff, but and then talking to them about it and like, listen, wouldn't it be so much more fun if we just nurtured each other? If we just try to walk with each other and talk with each other and like support each other a little bit better. And then I started noticing, good job, Bibby. You did a great job up there. You almost got a strike. And they're going up and that not safe really, but picking up the ball for each other and handing it to each other. There's more likeliness of a problem in that phase, but nothing happened. It was all good. But and then noticing when the other one didn't want to take the ball, it's like, no, I wanted to get it myself. And I said, and then they get mad because they were trying to offer that person something and then it was rejected, right? So I can have an understanding about this rejection too. I remember watching Jim at a four-way stop sign, and I've done it too. You're sitting there and you wave the next person over and they don't listen and they just sit there and it's like, well, fine, fuck you, I'm going anyways then. And it's like, why do we have to have that? And because I've noticed it, but then I notice it with the kids too, that because they felt rejected, so they automatically get defensive and want to lash back out at the person instead of knowing that it's okay. Okay, it's fine. That just means I'm supposed to go right now. Or okay, that's fine. She wants to be the person that's bigger right now and then take care of it herself. She doesn't want the help right now, and it's being okay to not give the help, even if you think you could have offered the help. So there's so much that's to be learned from all these situations. And then now taking him over to my other daughter's house and then letting him play with other kids and letting him have a little bit more freedom on the street, riding the bikes, riding the scooters, paying attention to watching them and having them be aware of what their surroundings are because it's really we're just guides and we're just sit back and let them have their freedom. But I'll tell you, he was trying to push my buttons because when I was ready to go, he did not want to go. And it's like I just walked over to the truck and got into a truck and he finally came over and got in the truck. And then when I got to his house to drop him off, he wasn't getting out of the truck. So I just went over and opened up the garage and did my stuff. But it's recognizing these moments and it's okay for him to feel that way too. And it was okay for me to feel that way that I felt. I wanted to get home. So it's just like there's so much dynamics that are happening in the world right now, and it's really stopping to pay attention to that intuition, that internal guidance, especially when we're going into a fire horse. We've been in the year of the snake, and that's been a lot of shedding, and in a 9 years, so that's a lot of closure, a lot of endings, but also representing new beginnings. So it's all pretty fascinating when you can sit back and look at it. So when you're in the midst of it, it's not always fascinating.
Right.
Not until you can sit back, like you said, not until you can sit back and look and be like, oh, okay, I can kind of see how this was all leading up to this,
Yeah.
how it's benefiting us.
Yep. And when we think about that 1 year, that the um it's new foundations, new beginnings. So when it said new year, new you, yeah, it's coming. So but when we say so the year is a number one, then it a lot of global stuff is going to be shifting. Like this year, we've seen crumbling of a lot of things, systems. We're figuring out systems aren't working; they need to be changed. And we're talking about global stuff. Um, Particularly our governments and the school system, the healthcare system, the pharmaceutical system, like all of it. So much has come to light this year. And so when things crumble, we take down what's not working. Now we start building a new foundation. And so just keeping that in mind. So globally, just start watching how maybe new systems are beginning to be built, or just being presented. Really is like, and just keep an eye on how things are shifting for this 1 year cycle.
That's good advice.
uh, and notice how you're moving and changing and shifting, and things are um, going for you. One of the things I've noticed lately, so as an intuitive, I'm a clairsentient, which means I'm a feeler. So I feel energy. And typically, when something's going to go sideways, I get a sensation. It's like in my gut, my chest, could, depending on the severity of what's coming, it could go up into my throat, will actually make me cough. So I just get a lot of sensation in through my chest, and abdomen area. um and it's a sinking, it's a heavy feeling. It's like, what's gonna come? Like, I don't know who, what, when, where, why. It's an observation for me. Something's coming, and it's a preparatory type of thing, that when I get the call from somebody who says they're having a crisis or whatever, or something, I'm ready for whatever's coming. Like, I've got that energetic armor on, and I'm stepping into my power to be there for whoever it is that's going to need the support. So anyway, lately it's been really interesting, because the fun things or the exciting things are coming. It's like being on a roller coaster. So when you hit that dip and your stomach goes, right? I've been getting
Yeah.
that more often lately, and I'm like, ooh, I'm excited to see what comes. So I'm just
Nice. I like
which
that. I like that.
which has been, I don't know, probably in the past week, it's happened probably at least 3 times. Um, where in the past, very seldom, like almost non-existent. It's always the heavier stuff that comes through. And so either I'm shifting enough to allow more of that to be felt before it happens, or I'm not sure. Like, it's something is shifting where I'm getting that sensation a little more. And it may be because I've been stepping more into gratitude, and the fun and the playfulness, and being okay with where I'm, like, all the things. So I don't know. Well, I'm excited to embrace whatever it is that fun things come. I'm excited to see
Yeah.
that.
I like that. That makes it exciting. It makes it exciting for all of us, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
So
And of course, we're going into a new year, so it's like it's new stuff. It's just like new, everything's new. And it's probably not to get so caught up into everything. It's again paying attention to your intuition, paying attention to how you feel things, how you know things,
yep,
just being in awareness of all that.
yep. And I so we celebrate the new year at the flip of a calendar. So January 1st is the new year. It's the numerological number one. But again, explaining how the Chinese New Year starts. Um, People that I've listened to who talk about the Chinese New Year over our calendar New Year said that Chinese New Year energy is way more stronger and is more important to pay attention to. I'm like, to me, I don't know. I lean into that, and I'm like, it feels true to me as well. I'm not Asian. I have no connections that I'm aware of with Asian countries and all that stuff. Probably somewhere in my lineage I am, but um, in my immediate connections. But the energy of a Chinese New Year makes sense.
it does make sense to me too. Even for this last past year, it's made a lot of sense to me too. Just
Yeah.
for all the things that I've experienced and for a majority of the year. I mean, for me, a lot of it's been since April, and it could have been stuff before that have been more mild, but that's when the stuff started getting louder and louder.
Yep.
That's when I started getting smacked in the back of the head, I guess, to let me know that these things are changing, and it's up to me to make a decision and start doing the things that I talk about doing and following through, like you said. There's no excuses in this year. There is no excuses, so you're going to be doing the things
Yep.
one way or another.
It's coming. It's coming. We can't, that's something we can't control. So just enjoy the ride
That's true. That's true.
in whatever way that shows up.
Yeah.
Uh, Gosh. So yeah, I'm excited about I'm excited about, I think I've said this past several years, I think. I'm excited to see what the next year brings. So I am excited because it is a 1 year, new foundations, new things going to be popping up. And so just watching the processes of that.
Yeah. And that can be exciting I mean, really for me, because if you get bored or stagnant, then you find other ways to get yourself busy or keep yourself busy, and it's not always better.
Yeah.
So it's just, you know, it's just good to it's good to stay grounded. So that's going to be really the biggest thing. And that's one of the things I've been practicing already is making sure I'm grounded all the time. If it's laying my hand on my stomach, if it's me imagining roots coming from my feet, if it's whatever it is, sometimes I just go out and put my feet right in the dirt to take off my shoes and socks and I just go right to the dirt.
Yeah.
It's plain and simple to sit out there for like 15, 20 minutes, find a warm spot in the sun. Of course, I say that, but here in Arizona, there's lots of warm spots to go find some sun for most of the time lately.
Yeah. Yep. And so yeah, and I'm glad you said that. I think moving into a 1 year on a global level is I would say that's super important. Is to be aware of your energy, be aware of having a grounding process on a consistent basis. I do the same. I ground myself every morning. Um, yeah, because I feel it's going to be a wild ride, and so if you don't have some kind of a grounding process, it might be important to start one.
And before I would feel like, so I'm going to add to that. Before I would feel like when I was going through the spiritual stuff when I would feel that highness, which we've talked about before, but I would feel like that highness, that giddiness, that just feeling so great. I didn't want to be grounded. I didn't feel like I wanted to be grounded in that space. But when you're grounded in that space, it's so much more powerful.
Yeah,
It's so much bigger than you thought it could have been. So I kept myself from that for a long time, not really even trying to. I just stayed in my up and flighty and up through the top, and I've learned that being grounded with that is creates such a better connection. It's so much more beneficial for yourself and for others.
yeah, for sure. Just get ready.
Get ready, yeah. I'm holding on tight.
I know. Like, oh, here we go. Yep. And then we do our 12-month spread on our cards. Bev and I do, and so we write them all down. And then each month, I do two cards. I do kind of like I don't know. I just do two cards for each month. So it's very interesting as those come up each month, what they look like, and so yeah. In fact, the ones I have for December is boundaries, self care, choose wisely, and manifestation. That's the one card. And the other card is steps going up. So, one step at a time. Each day we take steps towards our purpose. Spirit says just take it one step at a time. If you skip too many, you will have to come back and retrace your steps again. One step at a time and complete each step. So, really, to me, the steps going up was like uh, moving. Like I'm moving now because I have made a decision to revitalize my coaching business and teaching classes. That those are my steps. Like I'm stepping toward what it is I actually love to do. And so, I
Nice.
got, of course, I have self care and choose wisely. To me, choose wisely is my, be aware of how much time I have to commit to that because I have a full time job and my other commitments. Like choose wisely of what I can commit to without overextending myself because I can be pretty good at that too. And then manifestation, like if I'm moving in the direction and getting that momentum going, then the manifestations will appear. And um, yeah, that's for December. I have not done 2026 cards yet, so I don't have January's, but I don't look at the next month until the beginning of that month or towards the end of this. I wouldn't look at it till maybe a couple days before the next month. So even if I had the cards pulled, I wouldn't be looking at them yet. So
Yeah, and I have mine pulled already. I just have not done anything more with them. And mine was talking about a birth of the new, transformation, health, peace, and embrace the new dawn. So I mean, it was like two times it's telling me birth of a new and embrace the new dawn and stuff. So it's because we're going into a new year. We're going into a new time frame. We're going into a 1 year numerologically. So I mean, it's from my perspective, it's a big deal.
yeah,
And it's like the synchronicities. And you talked about the steps. So the other night I was laying down and what I saw, it was weird because it was like in my mind's eye. So, sometimes through some meditations, they might say, close your eyes and you're looking through your third eye and you can see like the big screen. Well, mine wasn't a screen, which was interesting because I understand the big screen. I've gone to the drive-in theater. I mean, I understand the movies, but what I saw was like my cell phone. So in my mind's eye, and then when I open my eyes, I could still see it. And I see like this, I'm looking at a cell phone. It's the image that I can see all of it, eyes closed or not closed. And I can see this structure. It's made out of stone and it's going up. And I see these people's fingers walking up the steps. And it's evolving and going up higher. And it's like, and then you talked about the steps and that you just reminded me about that. So it was like pretty fascinating because that's not ever happened to me before, especially if I could see it with my eye. And then I could start seeing waterfalls and some other stuff too. But I also know for me, water represents emotions and stuff too. And it's like I would say like evolving or going rising above a lot of that stuff. Not to be above the emotions, but not allowing them to control me like I have.
yeah. And water is
So
flow.
water is flow. And that was the other thing that I saw too, because it was I did a long reading for me yesterday. And at the end of the thing, it was like it showed a walking into a cave, but and then there was water, but it says you can try to climb over it. You can try to do all these other things, or you could just be like water and flow. And so that was the message, is this to be in flow.
Yeah,
And so maybe that's a good reminder even going into this year. Because if we're trying to resist and we're trying to fight it and we're trying to put out all the fires, it's not possible because there's fast movement. You're just gonna have to get on and grab a hold of both sides of your whatever you're floating on, whether it's your leaf that you're floating on or you're in that ride, whatever it looks like, your lotus flower, I don't care. But when you're going down that thing, it's like it's recognizing that you're just going to go with the flow, and that's what it's letting me know that that's what I need to do. I'm obviously not a fire sign though. I'm an earth sign, so
yeah. And it could be cleansing too. So you could stand in the waterfall and let the water cleanse energy as well. So when you
true.
were talking, I was like, yeah, and there's one more. I gotta connect to it. There's one more. All
Nice.
right, friends. Well, prepare. This video again comes out on January 1st. So um maybe just look into a little bit more about what a numerological one is and then what the fire sign of horse is uh, for the Chinese astrology and just give yourself some, this pace is going to pick up, and if you're not used to it, then just take the initiatives within yourself to prepare. And what does prepare look like? It's different for everybody, so I don't know how to answer that for you. But I would say, um, for me, it's like looking forward. I'm looking forward to what's coming. I'm excited about what's coming, and I'm projecting that outward for myself. And maybe that's where you start, is just what are you focused on? And be sure that whatever you're focused on is what you want to bring to you. Because I think also, I wanted to say this as well, was that it seems like the connection, which I call the veil, is like thinning even more between us and spirit. And so, um, being open to that guidance, that spiritual guidance, spirit counsel, whatever it is, whatever that means for you, um, that to lean onto that as well to help you move through this change, because it's, we can't stop it. So I'm like excited. I feel like all giddy about it.
And an excitement is a better feeling than feeling like, oh God, here we go. Brace yourself, Effie. I mean, that's it. All that stuff feels kind of heavier, and it's recognizing sometimes the feelings that we feel within our bodies might actually be excitement, but we're so used to calling it, worry or concern or anxiety. And it's like being excited about those things, having the butterflies.
Yeah.
All the potential possibilities are there.
Yeah. So let's go. Let's do it. So anyway, Bev and I will well, we'll see you if you see this video on January 1st. Happy New Year. We're excited to see and hear the things that are going to transpire. Um, and if other people are having these conversations, be sure to share us or any other resources that you have with your friends, family, coworkers, and such. Many people are seeking guidance, and you could be the link between um, the source and the resource and the answering their questions. So you can find us on many platforms. We're on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Spreaker, Spotify, and Podcast Addicts. So should be pretty simple to find us. So
That's right.
any final words?
Happy New Year.
Happy New
I'm
Year.
excited. I'm excited to see what happens for this next year as well.
We're having horse races. Let's go.
We're having horse races. Oh, good Lord.
All right, friends, take care. Happy New Year. And let's go with this. This is great. See you next time.
See you later.